Welcome to another English Solutions for Business and Life video. Today we will be looking at Unit 7 in the Global Pre-Intermediate book, and we will be focusing on the grammar section. Now in this grammar section, we will be looking at present perfect and how it's used with the words for and since and yet and already. We're going to look at a few rules and a few examples about these. So let's start. First, present perfect with for and since. We use for and since with the present perfect to talk about unfinished time. Now, we use for with lengths of time and since with beginning or points in time that are the beginning of a certain time duration. Is that a little bit difficult? Let's look at a timetable and see if that will help. So let's imagine this is the timetable and it goes from the year 2010 to the year 2015. For would state an amount of time or a length of time, a duration. So we could say, for example, for 5 years. An activity that happened for 5 years. I've worked here for 5 years. Or I've been here for a long time. Now what about since? Since would indicate a point in time, not a duration. For example, 2010. And it would indicate the beginning of the time we're talking about. So we could say that since 2010, I've worked here or I've lived here. If we continue with this example just below, we wouldn't say I've worked here since 5 years. We would rather say I've worked here since the specific time that we started. So I've worked here since 2010 or since I was 25 years old. That's how we used for and since. Now pay attention to these words because we do not use in and a time expression with the present perfect tense. For example, I've worked here in 5 years. That sentence would be wrong. We would rather use the present simple, like I worked here. I worked here in 2005, or I worked here in the 90s. That would be correct. Now let's look at how we use the present perfect with the words yet and already. Let's start with already. We would use already with the present perfect to emphasize that something has happened before now. Now, the structure would be like this. The auxiliary verb, which could be have, and already, followed by the past participle of the verb we're using or we're talking about. For example, I've already been to the bank. Now, let's look at how we use yet. We use yet to say or talk about something that has not happened but will probably happen soon. We would use it in negatives and questions, and yet would go at the end of the sentence. That would be the structure. Let's look at an example. Here are two examples of sentences that use yet. The money hasn't gone into my account yet. Now, this would be a negative sentence, and it would indicate that the action has not happened, but will probably happen soon. Now, in the second sentence, have you paid the bills yet? That's a question. It also indicates that it hasn't happened, and so the person is asking whether it will happen soon. Now, notice that here we use yet for questions and negative sentences. But we would use already, usually with positive or affirmative sentences. Now, those are the words that are in the grammar part or the grammar section of Unit 7. If you have any more questions, make sure you ask your teacher about it. And also, try to focus on more examples so that you can use these words more fluently while you're speaking. That would be it for this video. Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed it, and it has also helped you to better understand the grammar in this unit. See you in next video.